Viniyoga therapist with teacher Tala.
Hello.
As we continue talking about asana in function, today we are talking about planes, the cardinal planes. As we move in asana, we move in certain planes. We have main certain planes we can move the asana through. The first plane is the sagittal plane. When we talk about sagittal plane, the sagittal plane, when we move with our body in the sagittal plane, we are moved through axis. And this axis, we call it lateral medial axis. So the body can move in sagittal plane like forward bend from Tadasana to Uttanasana. This is in sagittal plane. So why in sagittal plane? As we mentioned, we are moving around this axis but forward, anteriorly. So this is a sagittal plane. Tadasana to Uttanasana, considered as a calming pose, relaxing the body, energy, and more toward the parasympathetic system stimulation. But also, we can perform in sagittal plane another pose, which is Virabhadrasana 1. Virabhadrasana 1, which is Warrior 1, if you can see Tala performing Virabhadrasana 1. If we take the body bars one by one, starting from the arms, she is moving the arms from down to up in the front of her, up toward the ceiling. This is sagittal plane. And also her chest, thoracic spine, moving in extension toward back bend. And this is sagittal plane, but moving posteriorly. And if you look into her hip, the right hip is moving in flexion in sagittal plane, the knee in sagittal plane, her ankle even in sagittal plane. So all her body is moving in sagittal plane, but in posterior direction in the thoracic spine. And this is we considered as energizing pose. Alright, as we continue talking about asana in planes, today we are talking about moving in coronal or frontal plane, the same name. In coronal plane, actually we're talking now about moving around axis, anterior posterior axis. It's like that. So we'll talk about two poses here. Let's give an example of Tadasana and side bend. Side bend adaptation. Now Tala, as she exhales, she is bending between right and left side in coronal plane. So she is visualizing that she is resting her back on a virtual wall to maintain this alignment and keep bending sideways. This is Tadasana and side bend in coronal plane. Another example of moving in coronal plane or frontal plane is Trikonasana or triangle pose. Again, if we visualize, she is moving around this axis, anterior posterior axis. You'll find that when she is exhaling, bending toward the left side and moving through this axis, around this axis, through this plane, the frontal plane. We can consider the frontal plane asanas as energizing, especially that if it's in a standing position. And as we mentioned before, you can perform many poses around this coronal plane. Maybe it could be standing, seated, supine, or prone. So as we continue talking about the cardinal plane in asanas, we talk today about the transverse plane. And now we're going to perform one of the famous poses, Tadasana, in transverse plane. Moving body into transverse plane will be around longitudinal axis, like this axis, if we can visualize it. So here, there is an adaptation Tala is performing, interlacing the fingers by raising arms overhead, and when she exhales, she started to tighten her tummy and twist her torso toward the right side. Inhale, back to the center, then exhale, twist toward the left side. And she's moving between right side twist, left side twist, or right side rotation, left side rotation. Moving around the longitudinal axis in transverse plane. So as we done from the three main planes, the question is, can we combine all the planes in one asana? Yes, we can. Now we're gonna perform one of the asanas, very famous, but in the Viniyoga methodology, we perform it like this. So, Trikonasana parivritti, or twisted Trikonasana. And now, when you see, Tala started to move her legs sideways and arm sideways, and this is frontal plane. And when she started to move in a dynamic way, her torso is moving between two planes. Sagittal plane by bending forward, and transverse plane by twisting between right side and left side. So this is one of the examples. You can combine the movement of your body bars in the three planes one shot. Parivritti Trikonasana. I hope you enjoyed watching our videos. Stay tuned for the upcoming one. Thank you.